Alright, what's up guys? Another Alliance War video. This time we got Blade, Morningstar, and bringing in Mephisto for the synergy with those two champs. And little disclaimer here, you know my one complaint about Morningstar is her ramp up time. And there are going to be a ton of mistakes on these early fights, so gosh, please don't judge me on what you see here. But first off, we're going lane 7 starting here on the right side. And this is my opportunity to build up souls, so going to be scouting this path, seeing what I got to do in order to use Morningstar most effectively and build up these souls. So I already start with 1 bar of power with Mephisto. My thinking here is I'm going to add in a power start 1 and just right off the bat be able to start with 2 bars of power with Morningstar. And what you'll see here that I only notice on playback is that the PI is displayed for this champ that we're going up against. It's a limber immunity node, but we can see it's 21,000, a rank 4 or 5 star. Now I didn't notice that before, but one of my teammates that ran through here had a scouter lens. So I should have noticed this and boosted up a little bigger. And you can see my Morningstar doesn't quite stack up. But anyways, onto the fight. It's a XxX, and you notice I have a power lock on me, which I didn't think that he would trigger that breakthrough, but I guess because of my power start, it did that. And I just, for some reason, pushed him to the L2 and decided to try to dodge it. I don't know what was going on here. And then he had limber. I wasn't even thinking this entire fight. I just get demolished. Like, holy crap. Worst start to a war imaginable. So go back in here. I'm not even thinking. I'm like, okay, I got this 3-minute boost. I need to jump in here. I just go in with Blade because I figure I'm power locked, can't even gain the soul. Go in here with Danger Sense. But again, I don't even have Danger Sense. I didn't bring Ghost Rider. I brought Mephisto. So it doesn't even help there. And he's bleed immune. So fighting this with Blade, he's jumping out of my parries. Finally take a little bit of time to relax. Realize I just need to bait the L1. Don't know what I was doing with Morningstar trying to evade his L2. But XxX is still super aggressive, so gotta give him space. But yeah, terrible start to this war for me. And like I said, these first 4 fights, like every single fight, in looking back on them, I can see mistakes that I made. But Blade is getting the job done here. Do get clipped. Should have probably thrown my L1 earlier, but anyways, take down the XxX. I was the first death in war, so again, terrible showing. But coming up here, I know I still need to build souls with Morningstar in this first section because there is a Medusa fight later on that I have to be prepared for. So still got that power start 1. I'm going to revive her, boost up, or heal up, and try to gain a soul. But this is a plagued mine node, so I have to do it quickly. Or at least get to my L3 quickly. And you'll notice my strategy going in here is actually going to work. At least my initial strategy, that is. Which is, Morningstar starts with 2 bars of power. Pretty sick. But it's a Nightcrawler, so I'm trying to do the change trick on him while not getting hit, while trying to get to an L3. And right there I should have thrown my L3 immediately. And I didn't because I was too focused on changing him and totally forgot about the Plague Mind. So now There's pretty much no way that I'm going to be able to capture a soul. So my sole focus on this fight is just to get the win. And you can see I'm just throwing out light hits every so often because I'm trying to still get him to change to Squashbuckling. Right there, finally get the trick to work. But it's a little too late, as I'm not going to really have a good opportunity to gain a soul here. Like, unless I get enough Mystic Dispersion from somewhere, but he's just not cooperating, not throwing his specials. And you see I get power drained once again. So what should have been 2 fights and 2 souls gained for me, it's been 2 fights, no souls, and I have a death. So, like I said, terrible start. And I got 2 Science Champs coming up. And in desperate need to build these souls, so can't even bring in Blade like I would like to. So bringing Morningstar to try to gain a soul here. Again, you can notice me, I'm just like throwing potions left and right. Don't want to risk dying again. And finally we get somebody that should be able to cooperate, and that's Luke Cage. So just going to try to bait his specials. Nothing here that would mess with my power. And this time realize my mistake from the last round and just throw that L3 right when I get it. I don't care if I'm pushing him to another special. And this is the one fight that I can actually say goes according to plan, at least in this first section of the map. So as you can see, I already captured the soul. Now I'm just going to drop L1s to do the energy damage. And yeah, just try not to have any more mistakes. Still, this Morningstar, 71 hits. Takes a lot to take down a champion with her at the beginning. Alright, so my initial plan would have been not to even take this fight with Morningstar. Like, I thought it could have been an Electro, maybe an Abomination, but also it could be like an Ant-Man or something. It's just physical resistance. So I jump in here with Morningstar anyways. And it's Abomination. Shit. Can't really gain a soul here unless I get really extremely lucky. And look at that physical resistance. I've done a 10-hit combo and barely did any damage. And I'm getting these poisons on me. It's just like looking so terrible. And in my head, I just think I have to still gain a soul here. And once you see, if you're not aware of the interaction with capturing a soul with Morningstar and how poison or anything like that works, you'll see right here after I use the L3 that it's impossible to gain a soul if you have any sort of damage over time on Morningstar. That counter just drops down and you have no chance. So yeah. Look at that, already at 0, didn't have a chance to gain the soul. So right here I have to change my strategy up completely. I'm just going to try to spam my L1 as much as possible. Do energy damage, that way I won't get poison off of that. And hopefully it's enough to take him down before the poisons do me in. I'm steady baiting his L1. And if this Abomination isn't at Sig 99, like if he was at any Sig higher, I feel like I would have lost this fight. As you can see, I'm barely hanging in there, trying not to take any extra block damage. Each L1 I get is super helpful. And right here at the end up finishing him off. And I did not die to poison, which would have been so tragic to die twice with Morningstar in this first section. But moving on to the next section, gotta erase that terrible start from my memory as quick as possible. And the ultimate goal, still to gain souls with Morningstar, still has to happen. If I go into a Medusa fight without 3 souls, it's a waste. So I have to gain a soul here with Morningstar, heal her back up from all that poison damage. And we are going to boost up, because this is later in the war. And I'll be taking a couple fights after this. So putting in some health, champion boost, and combat regen. So this regen will be used in this fight and the next fight, and you'll kind of see why. But we just get a 4-star rogue, so just got to know short debuff timer on her. As you can see, she already pretty much jumps out of stun. But yeah, just trying to bait specials, do what I can to get to my L3. And so far she's cooperating. And look at that regen boost, getting Morningstar back up to full health. Able to drop the L3. And although it pushes Rogue to 2 bars of power, basically for Rogue, just gotta outdistance her specials. And she's also being very gracious in throwing out that heavy. So, capture a soul, we're at 3, which, although it's not optimal, it is the minimum needed to get your unblockable S2. But here we got a biohazard, and scouting this, I predict it to be magic, so that's why I didn't bring Iceman, and we're going to try it with Blade. So biohazard is, when you hit them, you have a 20% chance to bleed, and off my first hit, even with Danger Sense, I get a bleed. And yeah, that's just kind of awful, but hitting her on block is what gave me the poison. That was a mistake, and I don't think the rest of this fight I'll hit her on block again. But mainly seeing if Blade was a good option for this, and you can already see 16 hits. Got her pretty close to halfway down. And just want to get her to bait another special before I throw down my L2. And yeah, just go in there with Blade, finish her off. So definitely, if Blade can get Danger Sense for Biohazard, he's a great option there. So trying to turn this war around after that shaky start. And this next fight is the Flare Starburst node, so it's basically you're just on a timer to try and basically just blitz this node down as quick as possible. So putting in my big boosts here, because this is, I will be taking on the debuff immune Medusa after. So 30%, 15, 15, or 15 and 10, 10 attack, 15 health. And I'm just throwing in my Greater Mystic special boost for whenever I use Morningstar coming up. And an invulnerability boost, because definitely, as I've seen before, Medusa can be really stingy with her specials, and pushing her to an L3 sometimes is the only option. But let's deal with this fight first. It's just a nebula. So all we got to do with Blade is, again, like I said, kind of rush her down. And 18 hits, she's done. Now on to the main event, at least of my war here. Pretty much what I'm called into duty for with Morningstar. And this time it's not a boss, but it's the debuff immune mini. And it is a 565, so this girl is going to be pretty tanky. So 37k PI. Jump right in there with Morningstar. And first thing, already get hit. One of my indestructibles gone. Get hit again by the special. I'm just so off here, guys. But let's fight out of the corner. Give me that power gain with a heavy. Now I'm able to interrupt those specials finally. And here we go. Morningstar. Gonna put in that work. Hitting her on block just to push her back. Give me some space. And right here, that was intentional. I used the L1 to force her to auto block. It gives me the power back because of Mystic Dispersion, and it gives me a ton of space. Trying to bait a special here just so I don't fill her power bar up, but if she's going to be stingy, I'm just going to throw it out. Still need to bait an S2 though. Again, hitting her with the L1, don't mind if she auto blocks it. Because look at how much space that gives you. She's not going to be able to attack you back, and you don't have to worry about the parries. So just something new I tried, and it was definitely helpful this fight. This is our last fight. We do take her down. And it was a super close war yet again. I definitely didn't help with that death at the beginning, but we did get a win here. So shout outs to the rest of 4Loki. Great war, guys. Everybody else, thanks for watching. Later.